friends. Welcome to the Eat Your Greens with Dr. Black podcast, the podcast all about plant-based nutrition for the whole family. Are you ready for another 5 fun fact small bite episode? You know, the episode where I tell you something in the vicinity of 5 interesting facts about whatever I want. I mean, it's my podcast, so I basically talk about whatever I want on every episode, but you get what I mean. So what's the 5 fun fact topic for today? It's time to guac and roll, baby. That's right, I'm talking about one of my favorite foods, the avocado. In fact, you could say I'm in a serious relationship with guacamole. As far as I'm concerned, there are only 2 food categories, and that's things you can put guacamole on or things you can put chocolate on. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Okay, let's get started with a little history as our first set of fun facts. The avocado originated in South Central Mexico somewhere around 5,000 to 7,000 BCE, but there's no evidence that people actually cultivated the avocado tree until around 500 BCE. Archaeologists have found evidence that people in Peru may have eaten avocados over 3,000 years ago, and that might be the first evidence of avocado cultivation. The word avocado comes from an Aztec word, and I tried really hard to look this up and how to pronounce it, but I'm still probably going to mangle it. So here we go. The Aztec word is ahuacat. Do you want to know what it means? It means testicle in Aztec. So there's that. Avocados were considered a symbol of fertility by the Aztecs, apparently. And although the word comes from the male, many people believe that that avocados actually resemble the shape of a womb. Nowadays, they're more associated with, millennials. Think expensive avocado toast. You know, that reason that hipsters can't afford to buy a house nowadays? I'm sure that's the only reason. Moving on, let's go to fun fact number 2. Nutrition. Now, nutrition is always worth about 10 fun facts, right? But we'll start with my favorite, fiber. Avocados, surprisingly, are high in soluble fiber. In fact, they have 7 grams each. Now, if you think about the minimum daily recommended grams of fiber that we should be getting, for women, it's somewhere in the mid to upper 20s, and for men, it's a little over 30. So a single avocado can give you as much as 1/3 to 1/4 of your total fiber needs for the day. And that's if you're going with that minimum number. It is one of the highest fat fruits known, but hey, it's a good fat, right? It's a monounsaturated fat. In fact, about 3/4 of the calories come from monounsaturated fats, which can help you lower your cholesterol and remove those cholesterol plaques from the artery walls. The fat in avocados can also help boost the absorption of those fat-soluble vitamins. That's vitamin A, D, E, and K. They are also good sources of vitamins C, E and K, B6, and folate. So, if you are somebody who's taking a blood thinner, you have to watch out for that vitamin K content because that can block the action of your blood thinner. They're also a great source of some minerals like magnesium, iron, copper, and potassium. Here's a fun fact. Avocados have more potassium than a banana. Now, they're not high in antioxidants in and of themselves, which you can tell because they turn brown when exposed to air. That's oxidation. If they were high in antioxidants, they wouldn't oxidize when exposed to oxygen. But, the secret, put a little lemon or lime juice on them, store them in an airtight container, and they'll stay fresh longer. Now, if they turn brown a little bit, that's not bad for you. It might change the flavor a bit, but you can still eat it. So that's how you keep your leftover avocados. But, who am I kidding? There's no such thing as leftover avocado in my house. Even though they don't have much of their own antioxidant, they can boost the absorption of antioxidants from other foods. For instance, tomatoes. If you eat avocado with your tomato, you can triple the amount of lycopene that's absorbed from those tomatoes. And this one blows my mind. You get 15 times the absorption of beta-carotene. And then that beta-carotene, which is a great antioxidant, gets converted to vitamin A. So, make your guacamole with some tomato salsa and reap the benefits. Our next set of fun facts about avocados are things that most people don't know. For instance, I just learned that they don't start ripening until they're picked. They will not ripen on the tree. But of course, we know once you pick them, then they can get ripe pretty darn fast. They have that minute little window of time when they're just right. It's sort of like bananas, right? They go from too hard to eat for about half an hour, they're perfect, and then they turn brown and they're too soft. So there's lots of advice out there about how to store your avocados. What I like to do, if I get one from the store that's still really hard and I think it's not quite ready, I will leave it out on the counter. I might put it in the fruit basket with things like apples and next to the bananas, and all of the gases that are released help things ripen a little faster. Once they have just that right amount of give, a little bit softer, then I move them to the fridge, and then they'll keep longer. They'll ripen more slowly. Talking about avocado trees, a single avocado tree can produce about 60 pounds of fruit per year. And avocado oil, which is extracted from the avocados, is great for cooking. It has a high smoke point. That means you can heat it higher without it burning and creating those toxic chemicals. Now, if you're crafty, which I'm not, so I haven't tried this myself, but apparently you can save the peels and the pits from the avocado and use them to make a natural dye. Apparently, if you boil them, they will create a surprisingly delicate little like light pink dye. Why pink? I mean, nothing about the avocado is pink. Those peels are kind of black, and I don't know, but that's what I came across on the internet. So if you try it, if you've done this and created your own like Easter egg dye or clothing dye, let me know how it works. Now, because of the texture and the color of that avocado peel, the skin, sometimes they're called alligator pears. And another name for avocados is butter fruit, and that's because of their creamy texture. And this makes them an amazing plant-based alternative to mayonnaise. In fact, right before I recorded this episode, I had lunch. I made my favorite chickpea salad. It is so easy. Let me tell you, you just drain a can of chickpeas and mash them up. You can use a potato masher, a fork, or you can put them in your food processor. And then you mash up some avocados. So you get the nice creamy fat, but you don't have to use mayonnaise. And then you add in whatever you would normally put into chicken salad. Personally, I like a little Dijon mustard, some salt and pepper, some garlic powder. I put some chopped up red onions and celery. I'll throw a few other things in there, and then it makes a great sandwich. So that's what I had for lunch right before I recorded this. A few other things you can do with avocados aside from making guacamole, although again, why would you want to? I don't know. You can make salad dressings. You can blend it into smoothies if you want to add a little extra healthy fat to your smoothies, and it thickens it up nicely. I even came across a recipe for an avocado milkshake. One of my other favorite things to do is a super fast and easy chocolate pudding. No cooking involved. You just blend your avocado with a little bit of, what was it? I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head, so I'll have to put a link in the recipe notes, but I think it was cocoa powder, some kind of plant-based milk, and maybe a sweetener of choice. And it was great. It was so fast. It took like less than 5 minutes, and you have amazing pudding. When I had a friend over and she tried it, she could not tell that avocado was in there. Her mind was actually blown when I told her what the ingredients were. And then last, you can bread the avocado slices and fry them and then use it on a sandwich. And I have had this. I've had fried avocado on a pita type sandwich, and I've also had fried avocado tacos. And so really delicious. Personally, I'm not into frying, so I won't make this at home. But when I've had it out, loved it. So delicious. So many things you can do with avocados. Just an amazing, incredible food. That brings us to the end of this small bite fun fact episode. I hope you didn't walk away disappointed. If you enjoyed it, please take a minute to follow the Eat Your Greens podcast on whatever app you're using. And if you feel extra motivated, it does help me a lot. If you could just take a minute, give it a 5-star rating, leave a review. And then if you want an email alert whenever I drop a new episode, you can go to the website, eatgreenswithdrblack.com, scroll to the bottom of any page and subscribe, and then you'll just get an email from me whenever I release an episode. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to eat your greens.